Welcome to a 30-minute class on resilience. And we're going to practice that resilience by slowly and subtly building some strength to do an arm balance at the end of this class. If you don't do the arm balance, you'll still get an amazing practice unrelated. But one thing I just want to highlight right out of the gates is when sometimes we think of resilience as like this strength, this like kind of protection. And instead, I want to think about resilience as mobility and softness and flexibility. And so while we're going to be strengthening parts of our body to move towards that arm balance, we're also going to be mobilizing almost more than the strengthening, because when things are stiff and crackly, it's not as resilient, because people, things can get pushed around, things can break, things can feel brittle. And so instead we're really looking for that supple strength. And so that's what we're moving into today. I have a strap. If you don't have one, we can live without. You could also do this. A towel would be great, like kind of a thinner towel. And then I have a block. This is only at the very beginning, so if you don't feel like gathering those things, you can do this at the beginning and then we can move away from it. The strap might be something you want later on. We are going to do a side angle bind if that's something you like a strap for. That's later on. So you'll just sit on that block. Again, if you prefer to sit on your heels, that's fine. And I want you to just take a couple breaths here, landing. And so landing in a way that you can be soft. You can be soft around the shoulders, soft around the heart. But you can still be present and wide awake. You're here. You showed up. That shows deep resilience. It's the easiest thing to kind of walk away, and instead, here you are. So just sit with that for a moment and kind of bring that into your body, this lifting up, this presence, this attention. Take a deeper breath. So in yoga, it's always kind of two things. It's never just one. And that's, we find that in the breath, the inhale, that expand, and then that softening, that exhale, that connect. And so if it was always expand, 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 or in, it wouldn't work. We would lose all that to the side. And then the same thing. If it's always softening, connect, 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 exhale, 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 we lose the other. So that's really what we're thinking about today as we move towards this arm balance. Bring it all in. Find the balance. Go ahead and bring that strap in your hands. I make mine into a loop because I don't like it when kind of the strap is just kind of flinging around. If you don't want to do that, that's no problem. And then go ahead and just bring it up. And this actually might be a little too tight for me. I didn't really measure. We're going to just kind of circle back. Yeah, I'm going to need a wider strap, and that's why a towel, if you have one, you might need a longer towel. So now I can circle back. Kind of see how that lands in the neck, and then up and back. And so we're just going to do this a couple times. And if you feel like there's no resistance there on the shoulders, you don't really feel anything, then that would be your cue to move the hands closer together. Kind of just notice now how the two shoulders mobilize. Is one a little bit more mobile? That's pretty common. And one a little more sticky. Are they both super sticky? And most importantly, I like to kind of see what happens beyond the shoulders. What's happening in the neck, the heart, the back, the arms. Let's do two more of these. And again, if you need in that movement to kind of mobilize the neck, I highly recommend that. I'm just kind of doing that without thinking. Good. The next time your arms are up to the sky, keep the taut strap and then just tilt one side. And notice if you can make your trunk longer here instead of crunching in. I'm going to make both sides of your waist longer. Same thing, just we'll stay on that one side, but just see about the neck. Up through center and on an exhale, side bend other way, same thing. Length around both sides of body. Good, come up through center again. Strap can go all the way off, or if you know you like it for your side angle bind a little bit later, have it within reach. Block can go all the way off. Again, there might be a pose or two where it's useful. Come right into your downward facing dog. Push into the hands, lift through the hips. And so I want you to just stay here in your dog for a few moments and push down through that index finger of your each hand. As you push down through the index finger of each hand, can you lift your hips higher from that point? And then hug the upper arms towards each other, towards the center line. See if you can let the neck relax while you do that hugging in the arms. See if you can spin your armpits a little closer towards each other, which means the shoulders move down the back. Take another breath. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, open hip. Try to keep the weight in the arms the same as the hips, become a little asymmetrical. Good. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, foot through to hands, left knee down. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, stay here. Take a big inhale. On an exhale, left hand down. You're going to keep your left knee down. Twist across your heart here. So right arm up, right knee hugs in. On an inhale, come all the way up. Whew. On an exhale, you're going to adjust. So go ahead and pivot your left foot behind you and move your right heel in line with your left knee. Arms wide. So think about like you're in a warrior two or something like that. And then right forearm to right thigh. Left arm overhead. We're in a side angle. Just feel this. So again, we're in a modified side angle, of course. I want you to feel open across the chest and just check in with those hips, because I haven't really talked about the hips. It's the same thing. Most arm balances require hip awareness, hip opening, because we got to get our feet off the ground, right? Can't just lift our feet without getting the hips and the core involved. On an inhale, reach up. On an exhale, left hand down, right leg long. So I'm going to stay up on fingertips for a moment, kind of in this side plank. You can also flatten the hand, see what changes. Try pushing down that left index finger. On an exhale, right hand down, you're pointing towards the back of your mat. You're going to adjust your left knee so it's right underneath your hip, as if you're doing a hands and knees. And then reach your right leg up, inhale. Exhale, tap above right elbow. Inhale, crisscross all the way over. Exhale, inhale, exhale. And so the whole body is involved here, right? The whole body practices mobility and strength. But can you push down your index fingers a little bit more to connect your inner arms to that strength? One more. Good, and then just go right into a plank pose. Push the hands down. You can always drop your knees if needed. Breathe here. Push those index fingers down. Hug your upper arms. Spin your armpits forward, just a touch. Downward dog. Again, just kind of set up. We won't be in downward dog as long. Just feel it. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, open hips. See if you can keep the pressure on your left hand as much as your right. So even though the asymmetry is there, how do you maintain stability? Connection. Keep breathing. Inhale, left leg long. Exhale, foot through to hands, right knee down. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. Exhale, stay. Take a big inhale. On an exhale, plant your right hand. Twist left arm up. So see if you can keep the squareness in the legs and open across the chest. Good. Inhale up. We're going to adjust so that your right foot goes behind you and your left foot is in line with your right knee, like a square, arms wide like a warrior two. And then you land that left forearm, right arm over. Here you are in a low, grounded side angle pose. Good. On an exhale. I like to start on fingertips. Right fingertips down, left leg strong. And the reason that I'm on the fingertips, first of all, it gives a couple extra inches, but it also allows the rest of the body to engage and participate. So an arm balance, despite its name, arm balance, has much more participation than just the arms. And in fact, the arms are usually just there to support. The rest of the body participates. Maybe flatten your right hand, push down that index finger. On an exhale, left hand down. Pivot your right knee so it's underneath you like hands and knees. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, above the elbow. Inhale now, cross. Exhale, above elbow. Keep going. Few more. Last one. Good. Plank pose, not as long. 3 long breaths. Good. Lean forward, lower down. Wide arms like a cactus. We're going to lift up and down a couple times. Inhale, legs stay down. Exhale here. Inhale, lift, elbows high. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Good. And then just go ahead and kind of land. Hands can be on, forehead can be on hands. Push your hands down, move to downward dog. On an inhale, walk to top of mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right leg back, lunge. Right knee's lifted this time. Inhale, high lunge, stretch. Right away, just exhale down and flow. Flow in the way that works for you. I'm not going to over cue that. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, foot through to hands. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. On an exhale, we'll go slow. I want you to step forward, top of mat, and come into a shoulder rinse. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. That's your flow. We'll do it a couple times. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left leg back. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, hands down, flow. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, foot through to hands. Inhale, rise arms up, high lunge. Exhale, clasp hands, grab arms, and fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, right leg back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands down and flow. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, foot through to hands. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, clasp hands, top of mat, and fold. Just a momentary rinse. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left leg back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, flow. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, send it through. Inhale, rise up. Try to switch the hands here. Exhale, rinse and fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart and pause. So just pause. So we started slow, and then we just added a bunch of fire. So you've got the strength, the fire, connection. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank, and hold. Just a couple breaths here, really feeling this part. Downward facing dog, straight away. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, foot through to hands, left heel down. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, stay here. Just kind of land in it. On an inhale, straighten arms and legs. On an exhale, you're going warrior one, back of mat. Inhale, this time exhale, collect the hands and fold, humble warrior. A couple breaths. Inhale, arms up, warrior one. Exhale, transition again, straight legs. This time, inhale. Exhale, hand on shin, triangle pose. Couple breaths here. Stay like this, or hand behind back, half bound triangle. Whether you have the half bind or full bind, you're going to bend your right knee. Half bound side angle. Option, well, actually, I'm sorry. We'll do that next time. We're going to stay here, take an inhale. On an exhale, you're going to take your left hand under the shoulder, lift your left heel, twist, low lunge. So we weren't in this yet. We were in something similar, but not quite this. Stay here, or right leg back, full side plank, breathe. Take an inhale. On an exhale, hands down, flow or no flow. I like to come to my belly after arm support, one-armed arm support. Take a breath in downward dog and just feel your strength. And strength doesn't have to look like one thing. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, foot through to hands. Inhale, ground right heel, rise up. Warrior one. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, transition. You're going to warrior one, back of mat. Take a big inhale. Switch the grip if you can remember. Humble warrior. Breathe. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, transition. Left leg straight, right heel kicks back. Legs stay straight. On an exhale, left hand down to shin, triangle pose. Stay here. Maybe weave the right hand behind your back. Half bound triangle. Keep breathing. Whether you've got the half bind or not, move into a side angle just by bending your left knee. Keeping your trunk really long. Take another breath. And then release. Right hand comes down. Right heel pivots up. You're in a twisted lunge. Right knee lifted. And this is a great place to build strength, or side plank. On an exhale, hand down, flow in a way that's safe for your shoulders. Gives you support and energy instead of taking away your support and your energy. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend knees, look past hands. Top of mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands through heart to your sides. Just pause. Continuing to work with our mobility so that we're ready. We feel open. So top of mat, soften knees. Inhale. Exhale, left arm underneath right into your eagle arms. Sit low. And then pour weight, left leg over right, eagle pose, breathe. Extend left leg, warrior 3, eagle. Don't overthink it. Bend right knee, high lunge. Free up those arms. Straighten your right leg, pivot all 10 toes towards this long edge of the mat. And then straighten over your legs. Pause here. So you're starting in the fold. Let your head hang. And then walk your hands forward so that you can, it's almost like you're in a plank pose in your upper body. And so I just want you to put your weight into your tippy toes. And I'm sorry, put your weight into your hands, which means you come up onto your tippy toes. And then only if it feels kind of accessible to you and not like this crazy thing, see about lifting one leg. And it really requires the whole body. You can hear it requires my breath, my voice, everything. Good, do one more. Great. Then just pause again, soften, let it all go. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, right toes turn out. Right knee bend. So we're coming right into warrior 2 this time. This time, right forearm to thigh. Left shoulder lifts. Left arm overhead. Stay here or half bind, left hand behind back. Lift your left shoulder, long spine. Or full bind, right arm underneath. Lift your heart. Breathe. And so even though this is not an arm balance whatsoever, our hands aren't even touching the ground, to me the sensation for where we're going, Ekapada Kundalini 2, is almost the same here. The bind, the hips, the strength through the core. Take one more breath. And then release your hands, kind of adjust so you can come into that twist again. Option to stay in the twist. Or this time, outer edge of left foot, right foot behind, so your left leg stays straight. You're in Wild Thing. Good, right hand returns. Flow, no flow. Work with your body. And once you get to downward dog, just pause, just feel. And I'm sorry, I just noticed my strap to the side. If you want on the second side, use a strap for your bind. That would be a good option. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend knees, look past hands. Top of mat, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart, and just be where you are, how you are, who you are. That's your greatest resilience. Soften your knees. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, right arm underneath, eagle wrap. Sit a little lower, right leg over, full eagle. Don't overthink it. Right leg goes long. Eagle, warrior 3. Good, bend right knee. Lift elbows, free up arms. High lunge for a breath. Straighten left leg, turn your legs. I'm going to stay facing away. We're moving into the same thing we did in our forward fold. So first kick the heels, forward fold. Let your head go for a breath. And then the next thing we're going to do is come back into that plank shape, meaning hands right underneath your shoulders, set up. And so you can do anything we've already done. Rocking onto tiptoes, lifting a leg. Our next option here is going to be only if it feels safe for you. And everyone has a different version of that, and it changes for me day to day. Lifting your legs. And so sometimes it just takes that. It just takes doing it. Other times it takes knowing that today is not the day to do it. So 1 or 2 more. Use that index finger mound like we've been practicing. Let's do 1 more. Good, fold and let it all go. And if you never left your feet off the ground, that's good too. Hands to hips. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, left toes forward, right heel back, bend knee, warrior 2, left foot forward. So we start here in the simple place. And each step is just a little more than the last. On an exhale, left forearm, right arm overhead, side angle. Right hand behind back, half bind. And this is a step that I think we always kind of whiz through, and again, we will here as well, but this is the sticky one for me, even stickier than the bind. Left arm underneath if you're going to the bind. Lift your heart, lengthen the spine, breathe. One more deep breath. Good. Free up the arms, right hand down, lift right heel, twist. Stay like this, or right foot down, left foot behind, wild thing. Move through last flow, or no flow. And this time, go ahead and just slide into kneeling. And let this be your pause. Again, this has been a well-rounded practice because our balances require all of us. So, if you feel like skipping this next part, you still got a great practice in, right? If you feel like just going step by step by step, and just seeing where that takes you, what step you land on, then that's probably a really great way to approach it. We're moving into Ekapada Kundalini 2. It requires hips, shoulders, core, so really all of us. So go ahead and come into just hands and knees is a good place. Doesn't need to be fancy. And then bring your right foot just outside of your right hand. So you move your right hand in a little bit. Make sure there's enough room for your shoulders. And so the first thing to do would just be kind of see about bringing that right shoulder underneath your right knee. And I'm going to do a little bit of mobility. Moving forward, moving back. The next thing to do would be with right shoulder underneath. Lift your left knee. And now I'm still adding a little mobility, but now it's a little bit more holistic. The whole body's involved. Now, this is not the arm balance, but just to see, what about weaving into a bind? Just kind of seeing what happens there. And then for the arm balance, you're going to bring your hands down. You're going to keep that shoulder under the knee. You're going to walk your hands back. Elbows tie in. You're going to slide your left toes back until upper arm and upper thigh connect. And then you're going to keep your left toes on the ground, back toes. You're going to lift your right toes off the ground, pause. Maybe you kick forward off of those left toes. Breathe. Good. And then return to kneeling. And here we are. Back in that same body, exactly who you are, nothing changed. Doesn't matter what steps you landed on. Hands and knees. Left foot forward. Make sure it's on the mat. Hands inside the left foot, shoulder distance. A little more narrow than I normally practice, but that's fine for this stage. Next step, left shoulder under the knee, hands go back, and a little bit of forward and back. Good, next step, lift your right knee, and now a little bit of movement, mobility, but again, all of a sudden it changes. Good, maybe you just see about that bind, mostly just to activate the core and kind of require all of us. And then bring your hands down, walk your hands back, and then you slide those right toes back until upper thigh and left arm, connect. And then you lift your left foot. Keep your right toes on the ground. And then you kick just a little bit off that right toe. And you breathe. And then you come down. And it's all over. It's time for a little hip stretch. You're going to bring your right shin underneath your left for fire log, Agni Sambhasana. Then you're going to take your palms, or the backs of your hands rather, and put them into your waistline. Palms point away. We're just going to kind of pause here. So it might feel a little silly, look a little silly, doesn't matter. You're taking care of yourself. Using that fire, that flexibility, that mobility, that softness, that strength. All those things contribute to our resilience. Good, go ahead and lean back, switch your legs. Fire log, Agni Sambhasana. Right knee on top. Same thing with the hands. Just gently push the backs of the hands into the waistline. Kind of like a silly little chicken wings. Good, and then go ahead and just come into a comfortable seat. This is where we're going to close, knowing there's always room for more stretching, more rest, possibly meditation. But as we land here, I just want the same presence as when we began. We soften, but we show up. So that inhale is that showing up. That exhale is the softening around showing up. Just really feel that in your cells, in your brain, in the energy you share. Thank you for being here.